Alright guys, welcome back. So there's been a new game released, and it is well, as you can see, Age of Wonders 3. Um, First off, there's probably going to be whistlings. Sorry, my S's do this. Very sorry. Very sorry. Either way, if you recall, actually, I may be wrong here. I may have or may have not made a KCCR based on Age of Wonders shadow magic. I say may not have because it may have been something I wanted to do and couldn't get to work because XSplit was shitting all over my face. That being said, if I did good, you'll know what I'm talking, but if I don't, then there we go. This is a game that Age of Wonders 3 is the newest one. There are a few older versions. The most recent one I have played, in terms of played, may not be the most recent one out of the bunch, is Age of Wonders Shadow Magic, and I had a great time doing it. It's a tactical game, tactical strategy game, but it's primarily tactical over strategy based. So don't think like XCOM. Think more. Whatever. It is turn-based. It's not RTS. It's not real-time strategy. I guess that's because it's more tactical than strategy, as I said. But so before I continue, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm bad at turn-based games. I grew up playing RTSs, Age of Empires and shit like that, so I'm used to everything kind of, flowing at once. Everything kind of coming together at one big fucking time. So when it comes to games, they're like, yeah, you have all the time in the world. Literally, it's just a turn. Take all the time you need to make your decisions. I fuck everything up, possibly, because it's too slow. But anyways, you guys don't want to see that. There's a bunch of different stuff here. You've got campaign. I've never played any of these. I'm not going to, though, because games like these, much like RTS games, are more enjoyable when you do either scenarios or random maps, which random map is essentially skirmish. It's skirmish. But the reason I'm doing this video is because there is, and you've got online multiplayer, you've got your options load game. You can see I have an autosave down here. That's just for testing purposes. I actually have not played much. I've been going over what I'm going to show you now. We're going to click random map because I'm actually going to go ahead and do a match, or a map, if you will, but not before showing you some stuff. So you've got a bunch of stuff here, and I'm not going to cover these like more in-depth people have covered stuff like this. I'm primarily going to get to the one thing I am going to cover, and then we'll merge right into gameplay. But you've got a bunch. You've got your difficulty, your medium size, your map sizes, which you can make super huge. You've got red warnings here, like these will take 200 years, and all this jazz. I actually prefer to do random. And then you've got normal game flow and a bunch of stuff for players. You've got advanced options that you can change all of those here. I'm going to go ahead and, what is this? If you have not ever played Age of Wonders or anything like that, Underground, like you have a bunch of races. I'll show you. Underground is literally an underground. I believe that allows underground, surface underground. Yeah, we'll do that. And you can change all this. I prefer starting town to actually be a settler. A lot of people may or may not do that. The reason I do it, though, is because that allows you, when you start the game, it is turn-based, so I mean, it can go as long as you want it to go. But it allows you to go, well, maybe you don't want your village to be right where it started it. Yeah? Maybe you see something 2 grids to the left that are more enjoyable, so I prefer settlers. So we'll just do that. And you've got all this typical stuff. You have simultaneous turns, and then you've got classic turns. I prefer classic. That is kind of D&D-esque, where everybody, well, depending on how you do the campaign, where each player and or AI has to take its turn separately. Simultaneous allows everybody to move at once, but depending on your computer setup, that may or may not put strain on your system. For me, I just prefer classic. You've got turn timer and teams. I don't like fixed teams, and I do allow allied victory. So if you form an alliance and you win, you have to have this tick to be able to win with it. And you've got this shit, but that don't matter. And you got some advanced rules here, but there's nothing too great. You can turn these off, and that'll mean the whole map will be explored. And if you do city founding, as you say, you can't make more cities. But we're gonna leave everything normal. And we're going to go to the part that I like the most. Bam! Now if I did not do the KCCR in Age of Wonders Shadow Magic, then this is a treat. If I did, then, well, there you go. Now, this Age of Wonders has a system in play where you have disciplines and or spell schools, I guess you could call them that, and you can choose between them. But the big benefit here is you can create custom heroes. Now you see I've got 3 and they're essentially the same motherfucker, and other than the sorcerer here with a different element. You can see I clearly prefer a certain thing over it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click customize new and give you a general idea of what we're working with. This is amazing to me. Alright, you've got your classes. You've got a Theocrat, you've got a Warlord, Archdruid, Dreadnought, Rogue, Sorcerer, and then so you've got 6, 7 classes. You've got High Elves, Humans, Orcs, Goblins, Dwarves, Dragonians, and back to High Elves, and you can be male and female. And of course you can do random character. And in order to do your specializations directly tied to your class or whatever, dictate what kind of abilities you have. It's almost impossible for me to tell you every ability that you can possibly have, mainly because I don't know them for this game. I know a lot of shadow magic, but not for this. This just came out like 2 days ago. So you'd have to test them on your own, but they're enjoyable. Now your class does determine the majority of the skills you get. This is different than shadow magic, but it's fine. And how classes and how they work, but we're going to go ahead and just click next here. We'll click on next on the rogue. As you've seen, I prefer to when you choose one, you're going to choose its second tier, which is master, and there is no third tier. I prefer to have, I can tell you why I prefer master rank in creation over a lot of other things, because that allows you a lot of revives that you may or may not have access to. And there's a lot of things like the ability to revive your hero, which if your hero dies is kind of gone. Not your leader, but your hero, which you'll see later on as I do gameplay, because I'll probably fuck everything up. And then you can choose one more, because you can only have 3. I prefer to choose Expander, because Expander allows you to grow your cities better and expand your cities. It does have a hard cap in a sense that once a city reaches like its max stage, it essentially becomes useless for that city. But it's good early on, and once you get a max tier city, you're generally okay to go, so this will carry me along the way. Click next, the actual customization. Now this is where it gets all interesting and shit. We'll start with the right side. I know this is a little different. Everybody usually starts on the left. We'll start with the right. You've got your coat of arms. You can change its symbol by tapping left or right here. And there's a whole bunch of different things. And you can change your primary color. Primary color isn't just for your coat of arms or your outfit. We'll do this, for example, black. Okay, it does change your primary color, and then you got secondary color, which will change the secondary color of your outfits and shit, as well as your thing. But this also affects more than that. It also dictates the color of your units. So your entire armies and major color schemes will be based on these 2 things. So for those of you who care about stuff like that, that's important to note that your units will be based on those colors, and your coat of arms will obviously be shown on your stuff. You've got this slider here. You've also got male and female that you can change it right there. But this slider changes the angle at what they're looking at in your portrait. I prefer the side, and you've got your names and stuff, and then you've got save leader. What that does is, as you saw my previously made, that's what that does. It saves it. I'm not going to do that for this guy. You got your face stuff here. So we'll start from the top on the left and then go down to where it says scene. So we're going to hit zoom in. You've got your typical stuff, faces, skin textures. There's actually only 3. You've got like super old man, then young, then I don't even know what to call that one. You've got skin colors. There's actually a bunch. Decorations. You've got a whole bunch of shit going on here. Hairstyle, hair color, eyebrow style, hair color, all that jazz. And you've got eyes. There's actually a lot of cool eyes like that. Kind of looks like my Skyrim eyes. My favorite is, I believe, where are you? Yeah, you've got huge, just energy. I prefer, where the hell are they? Oh, there they are. Yeah, I prefer I-19, because you still see the pupils, but it's like glowing center. I really like that. We've got accessories, which range from whatevers to whatevers. We got a lot of good, awesome stuff. Actually, that circlet's pretty rad. And then you've got your scene, zoom out, and posture and clothing. Each class has a bunch of different outfits. There's only like 3 or 4, depending on the class, that you can choose from, which are all, once again, color based on up here. You've got your posture. There's a lot of these. I don't know how many. Let's go through. There's 9. So you've got a lot of awesome shit. And you've got your scene, which changes your background, changes your portrait. You've got a lot of stuff going on here. My favorite one is this. I prefer this one. I like that one quite a bit. But then again, I like to play magical classes. So, I mean, the portrait looks nice. Either way, what we're going to do is I'm going to hit back. and we're gonna move right into like the start of what I'm gonna. I don't want to call it a let's play, but you know what it is. All right, my problem is, as you've seen, I've got a sorcerer made. I need to remake him and get rid of the evil stuff right there, but I'm just like, fuck it. I've got a theocrat, which is pretty cool, and then I've got my dreadnought. It's important to note that irrelevant of your race and irrelevant of your class, you all have access to magic. Everything has access to magic. The sorcerer is pretty self-explanatory. I don't really need to go into that. It's a sorcerer. The theocrat is think a priest. Like, they're still magical, but it's divine based. You have devout statuses and shit. Your power comes from God, if you will, or gods, however you want to look at it. You get angels and cherubs and shit as summons and whatnot units. So they're very much religious magic. The dreadnought, I also happen to really like the way my dreadnought looks. Like, I'm mad for that fucking outfit. But I don't want to classify it as a steampunk. I want to classify it as a mana punk. I'm pretty sure there's actually a term for this. But take steampunk, right? You've got your steam technology. It's clearly tech, but like different. But then imagine instead of steam harnessed energy, it's magic. Alright, mana punk, if you will. So you've got like rifles that are infused with mana bullets. You create huge machinery-based war beasts and golems and shit, but all of it revolves around magic instead of things like electricity and shit like that. So I'm mad cool for the dreadnought. I'm probably just going to take the... And of course I'm a high elf because you already know, given the option, I'll always be a high elf. And it gives you a nice description over here of how stuff works. The only reason my dreadnought's not in this stance is one of these animations, the one where the hands come up, makes the shoulder pad that I love so much and the cloak clip into the chest plate. It's really weird. Well, I'm actually just going to go ahead and use my... I'm actually going to remake my sorcerer, which luckily, because I already have him made and chosen everything, all I have to do is click edit. I'm going to go ahead and choose my sorcerer, but I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to take my... Actually, I'm not. You know what? It's hard to know because I probably won't have a lot to do in this episode. You know what? That's fine. I won't rush explanations. All right, in Age of Wonders Shadow Magic, I played... it's hard to explain because the games aren't the same. Sorcerer class I know how to play because I played that style in Shadow Magic. Essentially, sorcerers don't rely on gold, which you'll see later on. You have like 4 forms of income. You have production income, gold income, and then like mana. Sorcerers rely heavily on mana, as you would expect them to do. I'm just gonna start as a sorcerer, but let me. Whereas I don't know what a dreadnought relies on, so I don't wanna take too long messing with stuff. I just want to make everything black. I think I will. Is that expander? Yeah, I don't want to save him. Do I have everything I need? Then you've got sorcerer clothing if you're interested in seeing what else they have. But this is by far the best one. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and play my sorcerer. Sorcerers, their strongest units are summoned units, a form of magic. As you can see, those cherubs and angels and shit up there, you get those if you're a theocrat. But mana, I'll show you once we get in here. Alright, so you start the game. Yes, I'm cool, I get it. Alright, what do we got? We can ignore that, ignore that, ignore that. You'll obviously understand stuff. I'm not gonna do what a lot of other YouTubers who are better at explaining stuff like this and already have it covered do. Instead, man, I have no income. I have like negative income actually. Alright, but I'll explain little things as we go on. This is hero. That was loud. Fair and the Quick, a level 1 rogue wants to share, because why not? As you can see up at the top, these are important things up here. Mana, though. Sorcerers heavily rely on the mana stat in the sense that their more powerful units are summoned creatures who drain your mana as they remain out on the field. And you can have more than one of them, but the more you have, imagine the highest tier one, I believe, has a 64 mana drain. Imagine having an army of 10 of those, you're going to be draining your mana. But because Sorcerer heavily relies on mana, and essentially only mana to carry its empire along. I mean, there's other ways of doing this, but this works really well with Sorcerer. I don't know how it would work with a Theocrat, for example. You're able to build cities dedicated to solely that and carry yourself on. Whereas gold still has obviously importance, but nowhere near as much. So therein, what was that? Therein lies the problem as I see it. So it's easier to play a sorcerer, and I know how to play it. But I really. So yeah, let's take a look real quick. I'm actually probably going to play. I'm just going to kind of sit here and explain this stuff, and in the next episode you're going to have play stuff. I'm going to put an annotation right here if you want to. If you want to go directly to gameplay, then go ahead and click that and it'll open another video, but this first episode is going to be explanations. So you can stack 6 units. You can only have 6 per army stack, as you see right. Why the hell does... Why is my... This put me in a weird place. Put me in an interesting place nonetheless. You can only have 6 units per stack, so you have to kind of choose wisely what you're going to do there. Who you're going to have. You can have heroes. Heroes are actually an option you can set. You can either have 5, 1, you can have 20 or something like that. I don't know. So you gain mana based on things like this. Like this little thing this guy's standing on. For example, that has an income of 10 hammers or 10 production. You use that in your city. I don't have a city built yet, obviously, because I'm probably going to go back to the... I'm almost definitely going to go back and get my Dreadnought. And then you've got your research. This is how you learn your magics. Why do I not have a... Oh, right, because I didn't click magic. I'm stupid. That's actually where you click to click your magic. You click here for research, but I'm an idiot. And depending on what you do, you'll learn these and you get new... This is how you get new magic and shit like that. So, you know, as you see, I have no city, so like my build times are the worst ever. Mounts are their own things. You've got your typical Empire happiness. You've got your diplomacies, which if you click up here, you open them up, and if you have other leaders, you can click there and do all your cool stuff. And this tab shows like what you do. You have alignment modifiers. Since I haven't played Age of Wonders 3, like I've done test mock matches just for the sake of understanding a little bit of the game mechanics that have changed from Shadow Magic. I've never really. I don't know what alignments give you or don't give you, but that'll be shown here, and then obviously this is what your diplomatic stuff will be, so that gets that covered. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this video here. I mean, I told you I wasn't going to cover everything. I'll cover stuff as I play, and obviously the annotation is back there. Click it, probably still up on the screen. I'm gonna play as my Dreadnought. So this is going to be the first video. I don't know how long. I don't know if it's going to be a full playthrough. I might try to. We'll see. But I love Age of Wonders. Even though I'm bad, horribly bad at turn-based games, grid combat and shit like that. I'm fucking terrible at it. No joke. I'm probably gonna lose everybody important, but I love it and I have a great time. So I hope you guys will enjoy this trip with me, and you can leave comments below about how bad I am. No, please tell me how bad I am, because I'm terrible. Alright guys, anyways, that's it for this first episode. In terms of uploads, depending on how much I record, I'll either upload them right after each other, or it'll be typical daily, once a day, two per day thing. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Before I do that though, let me just state that if you guys leave constructive criticism, I'll take it into note, but understand that much like all my other recordings, I'll be recording a few episodes per recording session, whatever the hell you want to call it, meaning 20-minute long, 30-minute long videos are usually done as a session. So we'll have sat down for 2 or 3 hours to record them. It's really hard for me to, I guess I could just put an annotation, let you guys know what episode started, but it's usually easy for you to tell. But either way, while a comment, you may leave a comment like on this video, and it may not be relevant because I won't be, I may not be able to do something you suggest in the next episode because the next episode's already recorded. I will read it and I will take it into account. Either way, guys, thank you. I'm going to count this as a mini KCCR. Don't worry, I've already got a better, like a real KCCR coming for this month, but this will count for now, but it's actually going to be part 1. So, like I said, peace out. See you the next time as we actually start doing shit as my Dreadnought.